Okay, before we get into this episode, and this is quite important, I want you guys to share it. I want this out there. I want this as wide as possible. So I'm not going to do the usual like, sub, and stuff. I'm just going to get straight into the topic at hand because this is important. So share, share, and share again. YouTube is broken, and John A. Douglas's ban proves it. There's been something creeping into the heart of YouTube for years, a slow rot that has been settling in. A platform once built on raw creativity, independent voices, and the Wild West sense of freedom has now become a dystopian nightmare, where creators are guilty until proven innocent, sometimes not even then. And if you need proof of how abysmal it's all become, look no further than the case of John A. Douglas. Let me be very clear here. John A. Douglas is not some drama YouTuber. He's not chasing headlines. He's not exploiting controversies. He's certainly not out here breaking rules. John is a storyteller, a novelist, and one of those raw voices on the platform who actually added to the conversation. He made long-form, thoughtful content about fantasy writing, independent writers, internet culture, world building. He has a smart, quiet confidence, and he's genuinely a good guy. And YouTube banned him anyway. For weeks, nobody could figure out exactly why his channel had vanished. It looked like a classic case of mass reporting, something that happens to countless creators before. YouTube's automatic systems can be weaponized with terrifying ease. All it takes is a small group of bad actors coordinating flags and reports, and boom, your channel is demonetized, shadow banned, or outright deleted. It's a broken system that punishes creators while shielding the trolls. And YouTube refused to listen half the time. After some back and forth, and digging deeper into the situation, John was finally told the real reason he had been banned. Because of a live stream from over a year ago, give or take, in which he featured a guest who has since, last few months, banned from YouTube because of false flagging and mass reporting. Let me repeat this. John has a guest on his channel who at the time had done nothing wrong by YouTube standards. The guest was later banned for false reasons, and now, because of the person's current status, YouTube retroactively punished John for creating content before there was even a problem. This is like being arrested today for shaking hands with someone a year ago, someone who has only been declared a problem yesterday. It's dystopian, it's backwards, it's reductive, and it's policy, apparently. You might think this is an isolated case, just a weird fluke. It's not. This is just the latest symptom of a platform that's lost grip on reason, fairness, and accountability. YouTube is no longer a place where rules are clear or the punishment makes sense. It's a place where context doesn't matter, time doesn't matter, intent is irrelevant. Creators are being punished retroactively. Videos from a year ago are being held up to today's standards and their policies, as if you don't pass the purity test. Your content can be struck down without appeal. Copyright bots are flagging content with no human review. False claims are being treated as fact. Entire livelihoods are being wiped out from a single email and no real explanation. It's a kind of chaotic environment that breeds fear and burnout. Creators spend more time second-guessing themselves and worrying who might get banned or they might get banned than actually making content. That's not good. That's not creative freedom. That's survival in a hostile ecosystem. The worst part, YouTube hides behind the illusion of safety and community guidelines, but they don't really protect anyone. Not the audience, not the creators, not themselves. The ban doesn't make the platform safer, doesn't remove harmful content, and my god, there is harmful content on this app. Dangerous, exploitative, disturbing. It exists. It doesn't address the real threats. All it does is send a loud, chilling message: you are not safe here, we don't owe you an explanation. And let's not forget, this was a live stream. Not some highly edited viral video designed to go to the masses, a recorded live stream from last year-ish. The sort of thing that most creators barely remember. let's be real. Most people can't even remember the content that they made a year ago, let alone what they said in an unplanned, unscripted live stream. People forget that, by the way. And yet, it's now being used as a reason for permanently deleting an entire channel, a channel that people have invested in, followed, and supported. John A. Douglas lost not just videos, but years of his life, a digital home, a body of work, a community, all gone. All because a conversation he had with someone before YouTube decided this person was evil because of false flagging. This isn't just unfair, it's cowardly. The mechanic cruelly disguised as policy enforcement. It used to be that YouTube had at least some pretense of a fair platform. Creators knew the rules, or at least thought they did. But the illusion is now unalived and sinking into a box at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. YouTube feels more like a black box now. It's a roulette wheel with invisible odds. You spin it every time you upload, every time you go live, every time you say yes to a collaboration, and maybe this is the time the algorithm decides your channel is done. If John A. Douglas can get banned, then anyone can be. And what's terrifying is that YouTube doesn't seem to care. There's no apology, no rollback, no second look. Once you're out, you're out. Unless you're a celebrity. Logan Paul, anyone? Unless you're a brand. Unless you're already part of an inner circle. Everybody else, you're disposable. John may be able to rebuild. His content is still readily available on Rumble and other platforms. Maybe he'll come back under a new account and a new identity, but that's not the point. The point is this should never have happened in the first place, and the fact it can happen, and that it's happening more and more. I mean, this should concern every person who creates or consumes content on the platform. It's not just about John, it's about every creator who's ever collaborated with someone else, every streamer with a deep archive, every indie writer trying to find an audience. It's about fear that one day, for reasons that you can't predict and can't control, your work will vanish. YouTube has stopped being a platform, it's a fortress, and we're all standing outside hoping we don't get kicked off the mountain next week. Old Warner Brothers cartoon style of we're Wild Coyote just waiting for the rock to fall on us. We need to stop pretending that YouTube is a safe space for creators. It's not. It's a place where the rules don't matter, where moderation is handled by bots and AI, and you can get banned not for what you did, but for something someone else did, months, even years after the fact. John A. Douglas deserves better, and so do we, but right now, better doesn't seem to be coming from YouTube. Like I said, just putting John A. Douglas onto Rumble and other places, you'll find him. Great creator, great voice, and ultimately, it's just ridiculous. This is not fair. This is not anything. This is a situation that is nothing to do with him. Maybe some false flagging was involved. Maybe it was bad actors. There's plenty of them on the internet right now. But as content creators, we need to say we deserve better. Like I said, if you're part of the inner circle, you can do no wrong. You get a slap on the wrist. Okay, Logan Paul, Japanese Forest, for example. We all got hit by that and nothing really happened and he's as big as ever. The biggest lolcow on the internet. Chris Chan and people like that. There's this endless stream of just ridiculous situations of people who get away with literal unaliving. And I have to say unaliving because policies. At the end of the day, content creation should be a place of freedom, a creative freedom, and that's it. But it isn't. And it's unfortunate. There is a reason that I created content that is exclusively for Patreon and behind paywalls, because I can talk more freely and in ways that I can't publicly. So, let's hope YouTube does the right thing and he gets his channel back, because this is a bad sign for everyone.